From cities characterized by walls like in the ancient Mediterranean region to a high-tech metropolis, it is no doubt that urban projects have dominated the last 6,000 years of our species' history, appearing independently on all the inhabited continents. Currently, more than 50% of the world's population already lives in cities, and the trend seems to be increasing as rapidly as it is expected to increase to 70% by the year 2050. Cities have become important centers for education, research, and economic opportunities for millions of people. These cities have brought much growth to a handful of individuals, but not everyone directly benefits from the development, thereby increasing the world gap. In order to solve the issue of this gap, cities are being constructed wherein everyone will have the same opportunities for growth in spite of their socio-economic or cultural background. As an effect, some cities are being constructed in deserts. Placing a city in the desert is great until you want a glass of water, but do not overthink it anymore because today we will be taking you on an awe adventure through the city of Telosa. Let's begin by taking a dive into the origin of Telosa. In September of 2021, billionaire and Walmart president Mark Lohr resigned from his duty as president of Walmart. This came as a shock to many. Why would he do that? Why did he quit? What plans does he have? This billionaire had visions and plans. He wanted to build something big, something amazing. He wanted to build his own city. Not just anywhere, but in the middle of a desert. He had this idea that every piece of land had value, and even land in the middle of the desert can go from being just barren land to a modern-day city worth trillions of dollars. He wanted to build a city of the future based on a reformed version of capitalism. He described his design philosophy as equitable, a city where wealth is created in a fair way, no load for the wealthy, no massive increases in taxes, but by simply redistributing the wealth back to the citizens of the city. Wealth they all contributed in creating, and this would be done accordingly. Using this approach to developing the city, Telosa will possess every land in the city, but the citizens can have the privilege of building and selling homes on top of the land. As Telosa grows and further develops, the land value will also increase and all generated wealth will be reinvested back into the project through communal services like healthcare, transportation, and education. All this will ensure that the citizens of Telosa have high-quality services. But why the name Telosa? Telosa comes from the ancient Greek word telos, which can be translated to higher purpose. There are so many megaprojects out there, just like the Neom megaproject in Saudi Arabia, but what sets Telosa apart is the fact that it is a project whose main goal is to fight world problems like climate change and overpopulation. At the same time, it also seeks to create a thriving city from nothing that is sustainable, equitable, inclusive, and resilient for its residents. But what about Telosa's plan and location? The concept of Telosa was designed by acclaimed Danish architect Bjarke Ingels. This isn't the first big project he has worked on. He had also previously worked in collaboration with Toyota to create a concept for a smart future city in Japan. Where Telosa would be built is still not known, but there are 5 places Mark Lohr had in mind. These places are Nevada, Utah, Arizona, Idaho, or Texas. It was initially considered to be built around the Appalachian region in the east. Despite this, the team in charge opted for the desert location due to the low cost of land and the potential for the land value to increase and fund the city's services as it grows. The main reason he chose to construct the city of Telosa in the middle of the desert was mainly due to the availability of cheap and undeveloped land in the American West. This land has the potential to pay for itself as the city of Telosa expands over time. This makes the choice of land an attractive option considering its inexpensive construction. However, creating a city in the middle of the desert would not be the wisest decision, as seen by Saudi Arabia's experience with Neom, which has faced issues such as extreme temperatures, limited access to water, and the huge energy cost of constructing a city from scratch. It is also a project in the heart of a desert and is already under construction. If they are already facing such issues, then this definitely guarantees that Telosa will face the same problems. Mark Lohr has designed the city of Telosa to be an environmentally friendly and equitable community. They have implemented a water recycling system that will provide the city with clean, portable water, as well as photovoltaic cells on the roofs of buildings which will generate renewable energy. Additionally, wind turbines have been set up at the perimeter of the city to increase the power capacity. All of this will enable Telosa to produce more energy than it requires, making it a self-sustaining city in terms of electricity. If this doesn't impress you, I don't know what will. At the core of the incredible Telosa will be found the iconic Equitism Tower, which will be the tallest structure and will be the city's defining landmark. This tower will have an observation deck and an elevated water storage system. The tower will also play host to aeroponic farms supplying the city with fresh produce. With its carefully designed transportation systems and autonomous electric vehicles, Telosa ensures that every resident is within a convenient 15 minutes of key locations and services such as schools, office parks, shops, and restaurants. The superblock concept of urban planning will be applied in areas with heavy traffic to prioritize bicycles and low-speed autonomous vehicles on the interior streets, while people and nature are able to coexist. This will guarantee smoother movement between blocks as well as reduce the noise from busy roads that could disturb residential areas located farther away. Telosa is a bustling and vibrant city with plenty of green spaces interspersed among its buildings. Parks with carefully managed reservoirs contain water for the community and offer residents easy access to open areas. Along its streets, residents are able to find training centers, cultural institutions, and retail outlets. These public spaces provide opportunities for people to gather and connect. What is the forecast for the project? Many people ask and wonder when this city will be ready to the stage that people are already living in it. Well, there's a clue to that, and it is divided into exactly 2 phases. By the year 2030, the city's plan is to have 50,000 inhabitants living in an area of 6 square kilometers, which is roughly twice the size of Central Park in New York. Once the second phase of the project is complete, the city of Telosa will be a bustling metropolis, home to over 5 million people in an area of 120 square kilometers. That's roughly 6 times the population of San Francisco living in the same size space. In the next 40 years, the city will continue to expand to its full potential. The Telosa project, which will cost an estimated $400 billion, is financed largely by investors and federal state grants in comparison to Saudi Arabia's Neom, which is set to cost a similar amount of $500 billion and is completely backed by their government's sovereign wealth fund. Mark Lohr and his team have a very ambitious goal of creating Telosa, a highly sustainable and exclusive city by the year 2030. With this lofty vision, they face the challenge of obtaining the necessary funding from government and private investors. We are talking about $400 billion in funding in order to finance the construction of this urban development. This project might seem impossible to develop, but the team behind it is not ready to give up just yet. Despite the financial and environmental difficulties and the lack of progress since the project announcement in 2021, the team still remains positive and dedicated to making its vision a reality. Would you contribute to the development of Telosa? Let us know in the comments. How do you think Telosa on completion will stand out among the other existing desert cities in the world, and do you think this project will be successfully realized? Please let us know your thoughts in the comments section below, and if you want to learn more about other interesting parts and features of the world, stay tuned for our next videos, which you will receive a notification for if you are subscribed to our channel. Therefore, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so and be sure to receive premium content always. Thanks for watching.